Did Whitney Throe lie about French lessons? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel My Big Fat Fabulous Life. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. My Big Fat Fabulous Life fans have grown skeptical of the show and Whitney Throe herself. How much is fake, and is Whitney on board with it being less than authentic? Now, viewers are wondering if a key element from Season 9 was all made up for entertainment value. Whitney Throe's new love language? No, Whitney has not had the best luck when it comes to love. She started out MBFFL in a serious relationship with artist Lenny Alahat. He ended up appearing to be unfaithful. That romance came to an end by the time Season 3 was over. Her next romance was with Chase, and it looked like she was going to have it all. Chase proposed, and it was down the aisle Whitney prepared to go. However, the two never actually lived together, and he ended up cheating. Plus, he fathered a baby with someone else. How can someone trust a man when these are the letdowns that they have faced? Luckily, Whitney met a Frenchman while on a language app, and he swept her off of her feet. Of course, it was during the pandemic, and she was still dealing with the residual effects of her romance with Chase. By the end of Season 9, she had made plans to go meet with this mystery love. Her brother did have some qualms and questions about him. Everyone did, and wondered if he was really who he said he was. Now fans are wondering if it is Whitney who is being truly transparent. Fake her French. For some reason, fans are getting the feeling that Whitney Throe may have lied about her French lessons last season. Either that or she really was not that invested in them. They became so passionate about this topic that a Reddit thread started to discuss it. The initial thinking was that Whitney learned some words and only broke them out when needed. In fact, it seemed her mother actually knew more French than she did. Then, the thread continued. So fans are definitely thinking Whitney Throe is pulling the wool over their eyes in more ways than one. Whether that is true or not is yet to be seen. Looks like everyone will see the truth when MBFFL returns on August 9 to TLC. Whitney Throe, star of My Big Fat Fabulous Life, had always been transparent with her fans about the highs and lows of her life. From her struggles with polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, to her adventures in fitness and dance, she shared it all. When she announced that she had met a new man from France, her followers were excited. They followed along eagerly as Whitney documented her budding romance with a man she referred to as the Frenchman. Whitney and the Frenchman had connected through a language exchange app. She shared that their relationship began with her taking French lessons from him, while she taught him English. Fans were charmed by the idea of this international romance and cheered Whitney on as she posted about her attempts to learn French, sharing sweet messages and video chats between the two. As the relationship developed, Whitney frequently mentioned her French lessons on social media. She posted pictures of her French textbooks, videos of her practicing pronunciation, and snippets of her conversations with the Frenchman. It seemed like a genuine effort to bridge the language gap and connect on a deeper level. However, as time went on, some fans began to express skepticism about Whitney's French lessons. They noticed inconsistencies in her stories and questioned whether she was truly dedicated to learning the language. The first hint of trouble came when Whitney shared a video of herself attempting to speak French. Her pronunciation was poor, and she struggled with basic phrases, which seemed odd given the amount of time she claimed to have been studying. Why does Whitney still sound like a beginner if she's been taking lessons for months? One fan commented on her Instagram post, "Something doesn't add up." Others pointed out that the Frenchman rarely corrected her mistakes in the videos, leading some to speculate that the lessons were not as frequent or serious as Whitney had led them to believe. Are we sure she's actually taking these lessons? He doesn't seem to be correcting her at all. Another follower observed. Whitney's close friends also started to notice discrepancies in her claims about the French lessons. Heather and Buddy, who had always been supportive of Whitney, began to question whether she was being completely honest about her progress. "Whitney, how are your French lessons going?" Heather asked casually one day as they met for lunch. Whitney smiled, but Heather noticed a flicker of hesitation. "Oh, they're going great. The Frenchman says I'm improving a lot." Buddy raised an eyebrow. "Really? Because it sounded like you were struggling with basic phrases the other day." Whitney's smile faltered. Of course I am. Learning a new language is hard, okay? It takes time. Heather and Buddy exchanged a concerned glance but decided not to press the issue further. They didn't want to upset Whitney, but they couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. As the doubts continued to grow, Heather and Buddy decided it was time to confront Whitney about their concerns. They knew it would be a difficult conversation, but they cared about her too much to let it slide. One evening, they invited Whitney over to Buddy's apartment for a casual hangout. After some small talk, Buddy decided to bring up the topic. "Whitney, we need to talk about something." Buddy began, his tone serious. "Heather and I have noticed some inconsistencies in your French lessons. We're worried that you might not be completely honest with us or your fans." Whitney's eyes widened, and she looked hurt. "What are you talking about? I've been taking the lessons. Why would I lie about that?" Heather reached out to hold Whitney's hand. "We're not accusing you of lying, Whitney. We're just concerned. If something's going on, you can tell us. We're here to support you." Whitney sighed, her shoulders slumping. "I don't know what you want me to say. Learning French is hard, and maybe I haven't made as much progress as I hoped. But I'm trying." Buddy nodded. "We get that, but you have to be honest with us and with yourself. If the lessons aren't working out, that's okay. You don't have to pretend." The conversation with Heather and Buddy left Whitney feeling unsettled. She knew they were right. She hadn't been completely honest about her French lessons. The truth was, she had started out with good intentions, but as her relationship with the Frenchman grew, the lessons had fallen by the wayside. They spent more time chatting and getting to know each other than actually focusing on language learning. Whitney decided it was time to come clean. She called Heather and Buddy and asked to meet them again. This time, she was ready to be honest. "Guys, I need to tell you something," Whitney began, her voice trembling. "You're right. I haven't been taking the French lessons as seriously as I said I was. The truth is, the Frenchman and I got so caught up in our relationship that we kind of let the lessons slide." Heather sighed, relief and understanding washing over her. "Thank you for being honest, Whitney. We just want you to be true to yourself and your fans." Buddy nodded. "We know you have a lot going on, and it's okay to prioritize your relationship. Just don't feel like you have to put on a show for us." With the support of her friends, Whitney decided it was time to come clean to her fans as well. She knew they deserved the truth, and she wanted to be transparent about her journey. Whitney took to social media, posting a heartfelt message and a video explaining the situation. "Hey everyone, it's Whitney. I want to be honest with you all about something. I haven't been as dedicated to my French lessons as I initially claimed. The truth is, as my relationship with the Frenchman grew, we spent more time focusing on each other than on the language lessons. I'm sorry for any disappointment this may have caused, but I hope you understand that relationships can be complicated. Thank you all for your support and understanding." The response from her fans was overwhelmingly positive. They appreciated her honesty and expressed their continued support for her journey. "It's okay, Whitney. We appreciate your honesty, and we're here for you no matter what," one fan commented. "We all get caught up in relationships sometimes. Thanks for being real with us," another wrote. With her fans' support, Whitney felt a renewed sense of purpose. She decided to recommit to her French lessons, this time with a more realistic approach. She wanted to show her fans that she could be honest and still work towards her goals. Whitney reached out to the Frenchman and explained her decision. He was supportive and understanding, agreeing to help her get back on track with her lessons. "I'm glad you're being honest with yourself and your fans," the Frenchman said. "Let's take this journey together, one step at a time." Whitney felt a sense of relief and gratitude. She knew that rebuilding trust would take time, but she was committed to being transparent and authentic. Whitney decided to take a more structured approach to her French lessons. She set aside dedicated time each week to study, practice, and have lessons with the Frenchman. She also enlisted the help of a professional language tutor to ensure she was making consistent progress. Whitney documented her renewed efforts on social media, sharing both her successes and challenges with her followers. She posted videos of her lessons, updates on her progress, and even some humorous moments when she struggled with difficult phrases.